picking up certain things, you see certain codes. So we'll talk about that in the phones, patterns. We'll talk about that after. We're going to be transitioning into the world of Pesach, to the world of Passover, and we're going to be going through the Haggadah. So a very good idea to bring a Haggadah, probably not the one you're going to use by the Seder, because a lot of chametz still around, and chametz, you can't have chametz by your Haggadah. You don't want to be going to the Haggadah shir and eating your shawarma lafa and your croissant, and then come to the Seder, because chametz is asur b'kol shehu. Even one morsel of chametz is something called kores. Kores means, we don't want to talk about it. So why is it so severe? Why is eating chametz on Passover such a leaven? What's the problem with leaven? Why are Jews so crazy about not eating leaven? Josh, what do you say? Why don't we want to have leaven on Passover? Leaven's bread.
I honestly don't know.
It's interesting, right? Everybody knows that we don't have leaven, right? No bread on Passover.
Because you left Egypt and you didn't have time to let the bread rise.
Beautiful. When we came out of Egypt, did we go out of Egypt very slow or very fast? And we ran out of there. If we would have been there for one more second, Kasher ovadeti, we would have been lost. Gone forever. You know that? If we would have been in Egypt just for one more second, gone. We would have gone to the 50th level of impurity. We would have been gone forever. God forbid. You know how close we were to that level?
49.
We were the 49th level, but how close to 50 were we? There's not even time to measure it. A rega, for one more instant. We left at that instant. Like the movies, like right as you were, and then the fireball comes and you're just flying out. Like literally, not even time. It was exactly closer than time can measure. That's how fast we had to leave. So we had our bread, which was not yet bread. We had the dough on our shoulders. And we went out. We didn't have time to let it rise. And we baked it in the desert, and it was matzah. That's the simple reason. So I understand, fine, let's eat matzah. What's the problem with bread? Let me have a little bread also. Why can't I have a little bit of bread? Just a little bit. No, on Pesach, you can't even have a crumb. You can't have half a crumb of bread. Ronen, why is it so severe? Not even a crumb of bread? How well do we clean our houses before Pesach?
Too well.
Too well? Basic? Super duper well? Or too well? Too well. The most ever. Why though? Why so much? So I have to tell you, what does the bread represent?
Layers.
Is bread puffy or is bread low? Puffy. Is matzah puffy or is matzah low? So it's interesting. Matzah is low and bread is puffy. What's the difference? The puff. What's the puff? What's that all about? That puff. The same stuff, right? It's bread and water. Except that something happened in the bread that it puffed. Even sourdough is also the problem, even though there's no yeast. It's not the yeast per se, it's that something puffed, something got big. The answer is, God made us with two parts. This is going to be our introduction to all of Pesach. God made us with two parts. We have an animal soul. You know what our animal soul is all about? Puff. Gold's Gym. Being puffed, you know what I'm saying? I was in Gold's Gym, Venice Beach one time. I think where Arnie got big. That's like the Gold's Gym. It was so much puff, I could barely fit in the place. I don't mean physical. There was also that. But it was like, you looking at me? It was very intense in there. It's like, there's a lot of, they call the big I, ego. Everything is about me, about looking big, about being puffed. Everything is about this animal part of me. Whatever I want, and I want it now. We all have that part. How can I get it? How can it be now? How can I look good? How can it be now? And it doesn't take into account long-term pleasure. Then we're given another part. That other part is our godly part. What does our godly part want? Meaning, purpose, connection, relationship. You did it?
I did it.
Oh, you're a genius.
I don't think anyone's been able to do it.
Josh, I always believed in you. Baruch Hashem.
I don't stop until I get it.
So just this is the true spirit of the Jew. Do not stop until we are so close to Hashem. That fire is very, very good. To harness that fire and say, Hashem, I want you. I want you. All the fakeness of the world, I don't want that. I'm going to keep going towards you, Hashem, until I find it. So we're given this animal part of us. What else does the animal part of us make us do? Do we like getting angry? So why do we get angry? Why do we get angry? You ever seen somebody having road rage, including yourself? When you're doing it, it's like, it's all fine. You ever seen another person in road rage?
It's funny.
So it's a combination of funny, sad, scary, perturbed, disturbed. It's a very, especially in the windows down, and they're going nuts. It's very scary, right? The guys in road. Here's the like as if it's going to actually help anything. It's going to get you there 1 second sooner. So why do we do it? It doesn't make any logical sense. It raises your blood pressure. It makes you. It's very unhealthy. So why do we do it? We sabotage ourselves. The answer is because God gave us this animal soul that, like an animal, it reacts so emotionally. It doesn't use its brain. It's so emotional. And we get trapped. We get literally enslaved by this part of us. And there's a part deep inside me that says, you don't want to be doing that. You ever overeaten?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel good when you do it? So why do we do it? It's like, it's like, oh, okay. They bring in another plate of wings. So first plate, oh, that was great. Plate number 2, slowing down. Plate number 3, you're like looking at the wings. I know it's not, and you say, you're like, bro, I know it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. I know but I can't. I got it. It's so good. Like those noises. Why do I know I'm not going to feel good if I do this? The whole tub of ice cream. I'm sure it never happened to anybody but me. You eat that, serving number 1, serving number 2. It's already not getting as good, but it's so good. But it's like, but I have to go out later, I'm not going to feel good from it. So why do you do it? Why do we do it? And we're enslaved to it. We're enslaved to it. I one time heard somebody was smoking. And there was a certain Jew that didn't smoke on Shabbos. Because it's Shabbos. So this Jew said to him, oh, Jew, you're such a slave, you can't smoke on Shabbos. You're forced to not smoke. So he said back, he said, no, I'm free. You're so enslaved, you can't not smoke on Shabbos. You're a slave to it. You can't stop it. You can't stop. I could stop. Baruch Hashem. I could stop. So these are things of our animal part of us that enslaves us, even though we know they're not helping us. A guy goes out and does something. He says, I know this is a bad idea. He goes out drinking. I know this is not going to end well. So why do you do it? Why do we do it? You're sure why do we do it?
I don't know.
And we can't stop ourselves, right? Sometimes we do and we feel good about it. It's so hard. But we want to. I know I should wake up in the morning early. Why do I sleep in? Why do we sleep? I know it's not a good idea. But it's so hard to. I'll tell you why. Because God gave you this animal that is the external part of you, and he's got a big voice. There's another name for this animal. It's called the Yetzer Hara. And this inclination of yours brings you to doing things even though you don't want to do them. And you're not going to feel good if you do them. We're not going to feel good of it, but we do them. Then there's this voice inside of us that says, don't do it. You're not going to feel good. There's something better. There's a deeper pleasure. There's a more beautiful pleasure. Let's go back to every example. When I don't overeat, I feel great. I feel great, so don't do that. Why eat the next plate of wings? The one that says, I have to do it, I have to smoke. No, I don't have to. Every single thing, there's an inner voice that says we can be bigger than this. You know what Hitler, the Malch Shemo, said? That the Jew inflicted 2 wounds on humanity. 2 blemishes. The bris milah and conscience. Hitler said that having a conscience was a blemish. Because what did he believe in? He was a monster. He believed in survival of the fittest. Hey? The Aryan race is the fittest. We have to eliminate everybody. I'm not doing anything wrong. In fact, I'm doing something right. I'm sick of it. I'm eliminating the ones who are not. You have a conscience that there's something good, there's something deeper, there's morality. And what do we tell the world? Yes. There's an inner voice that's real. There's an inner voice that's trying to make me better and not sabotage my life. There's a real inner soul inside of me. So I want to read you one line from the Tanya, Perek Mem Zayin. Remember this forever. What is this animal part of you? And what is this soul part of you? This godly soul. We're going to call it the Nefesh Elokis, the godly soul. And what is this animal part that's blocking it? The animal part of you that's blocking it is called Mitzrayim, is called your personal Egypt, is called the constraints. Mitzrayim, to leave Egypt. Mitzrayim means Meitzarim, means the narrow things. The voices that say you'll never become better, you're going to be a lowlife, you're a loser, you can't get out of that. That's all part of the animal soul. And this deep soul, this godly soul inside of me that wants to break out, that is the mitzvah of Passover. That's what it means to leave Egypt. It doesn't mean that we're commemorating something that happened 3,500 years ago. That also happened. But every single year, and look at the language of the Balatanya, Hine bechol dor vador, every single generation, and he adds, v'kol yoim v'yoim, and every single day. And in the Shulchan Aruch Harav he adds, v'kol rega v'rega, every single moment. Chayiv adam lirois atzmai, you have to see yourself, kilu yotza hayoim mitzrayim, that you're leaving now from Egypt. What do you mean? I was never in Egypt. No, it means the spiritual Egypt. The spiritual part of you that's telling you, just overeat. Just have the one night thing. Just do that thing that's not going to make you feel good. Just be impatient. Just get angry. That's telling you, just do it. Just do that. I don't need to listen to that voice anymore. Vehi, this line always just got me. Yitzias nefesh elokis, that is when your godly soul comes out from being imprisoned in this animalistic part of us, when it comes out, when I'm no longer imprisoned anymore, Memaser haguf, from the constraints of the animalistic body part of me, that I just have to listen to whatever my body says at every single moment. And look what it's called. Mishcha dechivya. Your body and your animal soul, we talked about this morning, is the embodiment of the primordial snake from the Garden of Eden. We are all inside this reptilian snake skin that's convincing us to do all sorts of things that we don't want to be doing. That's why the Jews are so big on leaving Egypt. Don't you notice that's like a big theme in the Jewish people? We're always talking about leaving Egypt. So some want to say, oh, we have this complex of like slave complex that we have to always, like an old, no, that's not it. It's right now, there's a continual battle of leaving that snake consciousness and doing what? Likolel beyichud or ein soif baruch hu. And to have my godly soul, which is the real me, unify with the light of Hashem and be able to not be enslaved to my lower thoughts, to not be enslaved to the lower part of me that's convincing me to do things that I don't really want to do. That's the mitzvah of leaving Egypt. And that's why the whole journey of leaving Mitzrayim is so alive. Every single day for us. Every single moment. And it's going to intensify over the next 30 days as we get ready for the Passover Seder. So we're going to, Mitzvah Hashem, go through the Haggadah, getting ourselves ready that on Passover night, you are going to just smash the snake. Literally. We're going to completely obliterate the lower consciousness of us and go to the higher self, be totally identified with the real me, that I'm not enslaved to my bad thoughts anymore. I'm not enslaved to anything. That the true me returns to its greatest self, being one with Hashem. We should have the tremendous merit of achieving this and getting ready for this journey of having the true you be revealed. And Mirz Hashem, do this Mashiach Tzidkein B'mehera V'yameinu. Amen. Have a wonderful day, my dear friends.